Welcome, everyone. We're so happy you're here, and I'm thrilled to be doing this special training for all of you with these incredible people on our team, these leaders, Nicolini and Hossein, Ariel Welch. And they are people that have broken records in our company over the past year. So definitely you want to pay attention. I come with a lot of experience. I've been with the company about 12 and a half years now, and it has been an incredible ride, an incredible journey in the best possible way. I have kind of seen it all. So I really speak from a place of experience and what works, what doesn't work. So I'll be sharing, some of my perspective as well. Let me just make sure that we don't have any, I want to mute everybody so we don't have any accidental background noise. Okay, I think we're good there. Okay, so first I want to just start out by saying welcome to all of you. Welcome to Purium. Welcome to our team family. So happy that you've decided to join and embark on this. And welcome to the Zoom. It shows that you've got some commitment to your business, the fact that you're showing up and you're here, because there is no shortage of support and infrastructure with our company and with our team. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you are plugging in to as many of these Zooms as possible because this is how you're going to learn. And at the same time, you don't have to wait on sharing Purium as you're getting on these Zooms and learning. So it's something you do, you earn while you learn. You're doing it all at the same time. Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Drop in the chat, those of you who have joined as brand partners, which is everybody here, especially those who are new, drop in the chat what made you decide to become a brand partner with Purium? Just put that in the chat. What was it that inspired you to do this? Okay. So we have so far the comments, first few comments, Nicole says something that finally transformed her health. And then she decided, I remember she said to Ariel, I got to share this with the world after what it's done. And she'll share a little bit of her story. Um, Hannah says the product looked exceptional. You're right, Hannah. Good eye. It is. And I know you trusted Melissa Hennig. Chrissy says, love the products, quality products. Ariel, helping my clients and paying off debt, which you did. Check that box. Done. Ashley says, and Ashley is Hannah's new brand partner, right? Ashley says, helping, oh no, wait. Where'd you go, Ashley? Sharing healthy products with family and friends. Love that. And Melissa, results from the products and extra stream of income. Love health and nutrition. Okay, those are all great reasons. And so many people who come into this are saying that because the products really are exceptional. They really do deliver results. And we want to share them with as many people as possible. How did I get into this? I was at a point, my husband and I both, Doug and I, we had put on a lot of weight. We were waking up exhausted. We had terrible digestive issues. I won't even go into detail on that, but we both did. We were caregiving for my mom. We were working crazy hours. So our self-care was completely on the back burner. He was doing real estate investing. I was doing real estate brokerage and sales, 60, 70 hours a week. So our self-care went out the window. And a lot of times when you're a caregiver, you might be a caregiver for an aging parent, you might be a caregiver for a small child, family member, whatever it might be. I think we all have experienced that the last person we take care of is ourselves. So we were looking for something and we didn't know where to start. And how did we find Purium? One of my cousins, Eric, who I knew was a total health nut, posted something on his Facebook and I saw it and it just lined up with the timing. I was like, I know Eric, he doesn't put anything in his body that's not super clean. He's meticulous. It's got to be good stuff. I had never heard of Purium before. And I reached out to him. So that's the power of social media. We're going to talk a little bit about that. we're also going to talk about not just relying on social media alone. But that's what happened. And then Doug and I both had a profound experience with the products. And like Nicole, I was like, I got to tell everybody about this. Now, many people come in as a brand partner right away because they trust the person that they're getting it from. They look at the ingredients, they can see how clean they are. They learn a little bit about the company and they're like, I'm in. And they don't necessarily have to wait and, oh, let me try the products before I start sharing. But for me, I wasn't looking for a business at all. I was just looking to get healthier and to feel better and not feel 20 years older than my age. But then as a result of the results, I had to share. And within a year and a half, by me sharing alongside one of the busiest schedules you can imagine, including the caregiving, I was able to match a six-figure income that I was making in real estate. So I just want to share with you what's possible and want to share my story because I wasn't any kind of health practitioner when I got into this. Some of you are, some of you aren't. So don't let that get in your head at all as a limiting belief that, oh, but Ariel and Nicole are successful and Melissa Hennick's successful because they're all practitioners, they're all in health and wellness. Many of us were not when we got into this. So the bottom line is there are so many people out there like me who are busy, who are stressed out, who are frazzled, who are eating junk. I was going through drive-throughs. Doug was going through Dunkin' Donuts like 5 times a day, getting coffee all day long. There's people out there like us who are sick of not feeling good and sick of the stress and sick of not taking care of ourselves. They're out there. So we got to talk to them. We've got to let them know. One of the first people I spoke to about this was my sister. So we often start with family, people we care about the most. We often start talking to family about it. So that's just something to keep in mind. I feel that there is nobody on the planet who comes in as a brand partner who doesn't know at least three people who need this. There's no way you have a network that is untapped that you haven't talked to about this yet. Many of you have, but if you haven't, you have this untapped network that you want to tap into because it's going to help you help them and it's going to help you in turn with the income part of it. So that's a little backstory. Thank you for dropping in the chat why you decided to become a brand partner. I want to see if there's any more. Okay, it doesn't look like anybody else wrote any more there. Um, there's another thing, just want to mention a couple things about getting plugged in. The person who enrolled you has most likely already done this, sent you the Canva document. The Canva document that we have, that's like a resource guide. It helps you get plugged in. It's got when all the calls are, what the calls are about, which ones you can invite prospects to. So keep that. It's a living document. Every time something changes or needs to be updated, I update it. It updates on your end too. So go through that Canva document, go all the way to the bottom and watch the video, Mastering the ULT Verbiage with Melissa Hanson. That will help you tremendously to talk about this. There's another video that's of me about enrolling brand partners, the importance of that. Watch that video. Those two videos are priceless to help you understand and kind of open up your perspective about why it's so important to share this and especially to find brand partners to join you. We have team training Zooms on our team YouTube channel, which is at Team Win Network. Team Win is a name I gave the team 12 years ago, 12 and a half years ago. That stands for wellness in numbers. That's what the WIN stands for, by the way, wellness in numbers. We could actually change that to wealth in numbers now because that's what's happened. That's what's transpired. So at Team Win Network, there's some valuable trainings there that you can just, whenever at your convenience, watch those videos. On my YouTube, which is at Sonia Magruder, there are business opportunity Zooms that we've done, as well as ULT Zoom recordings. The ULT Zoom is every Monday night at 8:30 Eastern, and there's a few of them on there, but I usually post the recordings in our WhatsApp chat, either the night of or the next day. So those are available for you to share with people. Those you can share. And there's one that's really good that's 3 chiropractors. If you're talking to a health practitioner or a chiropractor about the business, share that video with them. So pick and choose what's in there. You're welcome to share any of those. Okay, there's a saying in this business that we have, and it goes like this: treat this like a business, and it'll pay you like a business. Treat it like a hobby, and it'll pay you like a hobby. Dabble like a hobby. How does a hobby pay? Does a hobby pay or does it cost money? So treat it like a business, consistent, being coachable, plugging into the trainings, all the things. It will ultimately pay you like a business. The only way to fail in this business is to quit. Okay. Curious again, you said why you got into Purium initial or why you decided to be a brand partner because you love the products, but drop in the chat, what are you hoping that the income from Purium could do for you and your family? What could this additional income do for you? Because I want to find out what your why is. That's important. It's important to be dialed into your why because if things somebody says no, you get discouraged or something, you reflect back on what your why is, why you're doing this. So drop it in the chat. I want some people to drop it in and not be shy. You're going to hear what Nicole's why was. You might have heard it before. Doesn't hurt to hear it again. You're going to hear what Ariel's why was. And I'll tell you my why when I started. I was making really good money in real estate, but I kind of compartmentalized things with money. And my mom was living with us the last 2 years of her life, and she was declining. And I was anticipating, because of my crazy schedule, I had someone coming in like a few days a week, a few hours a day, but I was anticipating I am probably going to have to get 24/7 care for her. I don't want to put her in a nursing home. I'm not going to do that. So I was anticipating that. And back then, I'm sure it's like 3 times as much now, but back then I was estimating it was going to be $5,000 a month to do that additional money. So that was my why. And I really focused in on it. And unfortunately, my mom, I said a year from now, I want to make that 5,000 a month because that a year from now, she will probably have declined more and we're definitely going to need to do this. And unfortunately, she didn't make it that long. But a year from that point, because I was so focused on it and that why was so important to me, it was triple that amount within a year from when I started. It was triple, 15,000. So it just shows the power of a strong why. And I'm going to read what some of them are here now in the chat. So Nicole says her why is forever evolving, and she'll talk about it. Yeah, why is it evolving? She's going to explain. Melissa Hennick, second home, retire my mom, stable manager for our horses. Yeah, that would help a lot, wouldn't it? Having somebody to help you with the horses. Stone floors and wood doors. Oh, I love that. So those are all really good. I don't know if you've made like a vision board, anything like that, but that always helps too. You can even do it on Canva. Juliet says, pay off my children's student loans and prepare for retirement so we can travel. That's beautiful, Juliet. I love that. So you got to really think about this because if you don't have a strong why, the first time somebody tells you no or you get discouraged, you're going to quit because you don't have that compelling reason to stick around. So make sure you really drill down and do it with your upline enroller or mentor. They'll keep asking you questions till they hit the nerve of your why. Hannah says being able to pay for the good food I want for my kids. Yeah. That's a big one, Hannah. That's one of the things I love about Purium, the income is being able to buy the best food. And it's expensive. Even junky food's expensive now. Being able to do that because it's a priority. It's important, especially for your kids. Ashley says pay off debt and be financially free, be able to afford the healthy lifestyle I want for my family. Well, that's great. You are going to hear from someone who did just that. Proof of concept, and she did it in less than a year. I don't know how much your debt is compared to what Ariel's was, but I know, sometimes I talk to people with student loan debt and it's six figures. It's like 200,000 and they're in their 40s. They're not spring chickens. They're not like in their 20s. They're like in their 30s, 40s, even beyond, and they still have this heavy debt weighing on them. So this definitely helps with whatever that why is. Okay. So I want to just cover one quick thing. before Nicole and Ian come on, and then Ariel's going to come on. Everybody, there's no shortage of people that need what we have, right? On the product side. And I don't think there's a shortage of people that need the business and the income. For think of all the reasons people just said in the chat that those are common threads with what a lot of people are saying. So we have this incredible opportunity to help people add to their income, and now more than ever, they need it. I met a new brand partner yesterday. We got together for lunch at a chain restaurant, got a bowl, lettuce, cucumbers, avocado, a couple shrimp, and a bottle of Fiji water, and it was $44 with the tip. It wasn't a fancy place. It was like a chain, nice restaurant, but not fancy. I was in shock when I saw that. I was like, when did this happen? It's crazy. So people need this. Inflation is just, it's affecting everybody. So let's talk about the action plan worksheet. Who here has done their action plan worksheet at some point when you first started or after? Drop a one in the chat if you have filled out the action plan worksheet. Okay, Juliet, excellent. Ian, always, of course, leading by example. Tara Ivans, Chrissy. Okay. If you don't know what the action plan worksheet is, drop a two in the chat. Don't be embarrassed. That's why we're here. Drop a two in the chat if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, or if you just haven't ever done it. Okay. Melissa, we have a lot of Melissas. Marisic? Maricic? Okay. Anybody else? Tamar's done hers too. Excellent. Okay. On the Canva document, it tells you how to download the Purium phone app. When you get on the Purium phone app, you can go in the search bar, type in action plan, and it's going to come up. Action plan worksheet getting started. Print it out. If you don't have a printer, take a separate piece of paper and fill out what it says on your separate piece of paper. You're going to write your why in there, and you're going to write your list of names. You're going to see some other things at the top left that if you're brand new, you're not going to necessarily know what they are, but Ariel's going to get into some of that, what UBT is. What's your UBT goal? You may not know what UBT is yet. So Ariel's going to talk about that. But it just says like, what's your goal? What do you want to make this month, money wise? So fill it all out to the best of your ability. And then what you want to do is take a picture of it and text it to your enroller or your upline mentor. Because if we don't know what you want to do, we can't help you get there. But if we know what you want to do, what your goals are, we can help you reverse engineer it. The list of names is crucial. You cannot get this business off the ground without having a list of names. And then set the appointment with your upline mentor to go over those names with you, because they're going to ask you, how do you know this person? Who is it? When's the last time you talked to them? What do they currently do? Why do you think they'd be great for this business? We need to know that. If it's somebody you haven't talked to in 20 years, we're going to give you a different approach than your best friend that you talk to every day. So we're going to help you with that. That's the beauty of this business, is you get all this coaching and mentoring for free with it. So take advantage of it. Nicole just put it in the chat. Thank you so much, Nicole, to put it in there. Okay, so action plan worksheet's very important. You want to also do it at the beginning of every month. Now, we do the action plan declaration between the first and third of the month online. That's an abbreviated version of this, but the actual action plan worksheet is more detailed, and that's the one that you want to do both, because you get points for doing the one, but you want to do the other one too, the real one. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. So I'm going to bring on Nicole. Nicole is a crown in our company. For those of you who may not know, most of you do. She came in with Ariel about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and she went to the rank of crown in 4.5 months. And no one has ever done that. The entire time I've been with the company, no one's done that. So not only did she do that, but she is helping other people succeed and hit diamond and make bonuses. So you want to listen to what she has to say. So welcome, Nicole. Thank you.
I know most of you already know me, but I see some new names. Hi. So I do want to kind of emphasize that I got into this with a little of maybe not the best experience with network marketing, but I trusted Ariel. She's my friend and she connected me with Sonia. So again, this part of network marketing is I have a network. And so I had a strong why. I wanted to take care of my special needs child. I leaned on Ariel. We spoke every day. She was very patient with me, Sonia too, and that's really what helped me be successful is plugging into your upline. I wave my hand to you guys. You get emails from me, calls, texts. I'm always here. And I really sincerely mean that because I couldn't be successful without leaning on my upline. So you have a family. We're here for you. So a couple things, I got into this last year, May 16th. I officially upgraded as a brand partner. So it's been just over a year, not even. Um, I had a huge health transformation, and I have been, as a holistic practitioner in this space, trying so many things to help get better autoimmune stuff and skin rashes and fatigue and weight gain. And within like 45 days, I was like, this is something so amazing that I've never seen before. And I've done all the supplements, protocols, the biohacking, everything. This truly transformed my health. And it was simple, it was easy to follow. Having three kids at home. At the time, my husband was working in another state. So I was here by myself with three kids, one with special needs, going through his own health crisis. And I still had time to do this every day. And I asked myself, I timed it. It takes 4 minutes a day to follow the ULT program. That's how much. And I asked myself, do I spend more time scrolling social media? Yes. Can I take that for my health? Absolutely. So if you have people that give up, always share that with them. Can you spend 4 minutes come spaced out over the day to, transform your health? But, I started sharing the business because I also have seen these stubborn clients that just weren't getting better. And so, now it's been, 1,500 people going through this in my downline and 200 brand partners later, and everybody feels amazing. And so it's, how am I so selfish not to share this with people? And so, people say, oh, you have a social media. Well, yes, but I've been growing that for 5 years. And I would say that's a part of it. But when I started this business, I got on the phone, I called my mom. I said, Mom, and she's on here. She's a green diamond. You're doing this business with me. She got voluntold, my husband has been supportive with the business because he's seen my transformation. He's seen me go from rock bottom to actually having energy to go ziplining with my kids. These are beautiful gifts that Ariel didn't hesitate to say, hey, you've tried everything, try this. The other thing that I will say that really helped is when you have customers and they are feeling good, always make sure they know there's a business side. I think that's really important because she said it, if you're feeling good about it, there is a business side. I'd love to talk to you about it. So a lot of my brand partners are happy customers that wanted to share this, whether it's because they wanted to grow a huge business. My cats are fighting in the corner. Can you guys stop? Or they wanted their products paid for. I have some brand partners and they just said, I want my 90 days paid for. Well, then you know what? I'm not going to hold you against that. Let's find three brand partners or three customers and let's do this. So don't underestimate whether it's social media. Your warm market is super important. You're going to find people. Can you guys stop? Ian, if you're hearing this, can you come get the cats? Um, it's customers, it's social media, it's talking to people. I put on a tough face half the time, but I was suffering a lot. And somebody reached out to me and said, why don't you try this? As Amy Venner says, carefrontation. You see people hurting and you can change their life. Dave said to me, if at the end of the day, when I'm dead and gone, I know that I've helped people with their health, that's all I care about. So that is, and a big thing for me was going to convention. I joined and then I went to the convention in July. And suddenly I was like, this is the most high integrity, transparent company. They have the nicest owners that are like truly there for like the right intentions. And that just kind of rocket launched me into wanting to tell everybody. So I worked my business in the last year. My husband has stepped away from his six-figure professor job. He now no longer works outside of the state. He's here with us doing Purium. So that's the kind of blessing. My why started, I wanted my son's summer camp paid for. It's $800 a week. Well, guess what? It was paid for in my first month, just with bonuses. Now I've bought a Purium van. Well, I didn't retire my husband. I brought my husband down with me. My mom and my dad moved from Canada. Like it's been able to kind of expand the dreams that I never even dreamt were possible. So if you are really, really serious about this business and you want to commit to it, I will hold your hand. We will run with you and we'll make sure that you can have all the dreams you want too, because I've been able to do that. Um, and I kind of want to touch on another thing because some people see my husband's social media. He's worked really hard on it. He's over 200,000 followers. Sonia, how many did you have when you started this business? Were you even on social media?
Barely. I had a
Okay.
Facebook and no Instagram and hardly anything on Facebook.
So this is the important part that I want to take away. no offense to my husband, I love him dearly, but I think it's a really good point. He has a lot of followers. I still get more sales every month than he does on our team. So he still does amazing, don't get me wrong, but when you're looking at people, don't underestimate the power of just talking to people, asking how they're doing. Like I have that confrontation with people. How are you doing? What are your health goals? And suddenly they're like, whoa, there's a human talking to me. So there is, yes, social media helps, but being a kind human wanting to do better for people, that goes far too. Pick up the phone, yes. So I always ask people, when can we get on a call? And lean on your upline. I don't know. The other thing is, and Sonia, you said this in the beginning, the people that plug in are the ones that are successful. And I was just like, oh, I have to plug in. Like, I have 3 kids. I just came back from Taekwondo. I was on Connect calls while I was at Taekwondo. I am plugged in. And that has been a big part of my success. The training's here. They've been doing this for 20 years. The red carpet is laid out for you. You just have to walk along it. And that's the beautiful part. You do your Connect calls, do your launch Zooms, listen to the Zooms. If you want to learn about a topic, you can go into the Purium Business, find all the recorded Zooms. They're there for you. So the learning and education is abundant, and that makes it very easy. And if you can't find something, you ask your upline, and they're there to help you too. So that's been a really, really pivotal thing, is just the abundance of information to help me soar with this. And I don't think people all take the time to even know it's there. You want to look up addiction, autism, autoimmune disease. You type it in the little search bar and you can find Zooms where Dave talked about these things. You want to learn about pineal clear. Sometimes I'm cooking dinner and I'm like, I have a curiosity about menopositive. Type it in the chat and I'm making dinner and just listening to it. So, there's an abundance of education, and it's just, I've never even thought in the last year that my life could transform the way it did, my health, my wealth, and everything. And I just am so eager to pay it forward so people don't have to suffer, but also so they can build their dreams. And it's been easy. If I can do it with 3 kids, you guys can do anything.
Yeah, and Nicole has 3 kids. One is special needs, she mentioned. Um, there's a lot. She's got a lot going on. I had a lot going on, 60, 70 hours a week in real estate, caregiving. So again, if your why is strong, if you are motivated to do this, getting into action, being coachable will shave the time off in rather than trying to reinvent the wheel. But we also, we don't want to have people come in as brand partners and then they don't do anything. Like we don't hear from them. They don't so when you're talking to people about becoming a brand partner, definitely get them on a connect call with one of us so we can help you vet them and qualify them, because we want everybody to succeed. But the bottom line is the brand partner has to want it for themselves more than we want it for them. We can't put that motivation in them. And like Leslie Zan says, we're not looking to motivate people. We're looking to find motivated people that are motivated. So Nicole, can you go a little bit into the verbiage that when you started talking to your mom and different people in your warm market, how you brought this up to them?
I mean, my warm market, my friends and family, it's just like, hey, you guys need to do this. Like, and I think a lot of times it's people saw my changes and they're like, what are you doing? So that was an easy. But with my mom, for example, or my aunt, I'm like, this is an amazing program. It's a 30-year-old business and high integrity, certified organic, biodegradable packaging. These are big, big things that are different than a lot of other companies. They manufacture in-house. Everything is done from point A to point Z there. But a lot of times it's getting the people to talk. You don't want to be, I've seen people write novels and text, and it's really hard getting on a call. People can hear your integrity, right? But I ask people a lot, what are your health goals? And they're, oh, I'm more energy, better sleep, and it's like, I got you. So I would say don't hesitate to reach out to people, warm market, random people. I talk to people all the time. How are you doing? They're tired. Somebody at the grocery store, the Taekwondo, I like all of the moms are on Purium. So you have a very amazing gift to end people's suffering. And I would never hesitate to share that. But the verbiage is really ask them how they're feeling, let them talk. And then how to fill in those gaps because you have this tool to transform their lives. So ask questions, yes, listen, take an interest in them. And it does take a little nurturing, but that's what you're there for. You're nurturing these people, right? You're going to change their life. So, and then always plant seeds that there is a business opportunity. If they want to learn, we do business opportunity Zooms frequently as a team. So, and we tell them, go back to your upline, go back to the person who sent you to sign up. So we do the heavy lifting for you. You don't even have to do that. You just have to send them the link. So happy customers sometimes are great brand partners because they had that transformation and they want to share it. But I am very eager. I remember when I started, Sony was like, I'm at the car dealership and I'm going to sell a ULT to this guy across from me. And I was just like, whoa, she's so bold. But when I actually got through the transformation, it's like it's hard not to do that. It's hard when you see somebody that's hurting and I look at them and I'm like, oh, I know I see like the big dark circles under their eyes or their rashes and all this stuff. And I'm like, I can help them, you know? So just be friendly to people. You never know what they're dealing with. I put on a tough smile, but Ariel was my friend. She knew I was suffering. You know, somebody out on the street maybe didn't say that, but she didn't hesitate to reach out to me and say, like, you've tried everything. I know, but trust me with this one, you know? Um, and your warm market or your friends and family, they already trust you, right? So you have that bridge there, just like lean into it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I was talking to somebody recently and they said, I don't want to talk to friends and family. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. I said, okay, then talk to the people that you care about the most. Talk to the people that you really care about because this is going to help them in a profound way. It's going to help their health and it could possibly help them financially. And that totally shifted the perspective. It's about helping people. Why would we withhold this from the people that are the closest to us? We would never do that. Sometimes I'll hear people say, "Oh, I'd rather go cold calling. I'll go out, I'll knock on doors, I'll call on chiropractors or different places." You know why? You know why they say that? The reason is fear of judgment. It's fear of judgment from the people that they actually know. It sounds like bravado, like, oh, I can do cold calls. I'd rather do that. No, it's because they would rather be rejected by a stranger, but they're worried about what their friends and family are going to think of them. So we have to flip the script on that and again start with the people that we care about the most. And speaking of that, that's what Ariel did. The very first person, she cared about Nicole as well, but the very first person she talked to, who was it, Ariel?
My mom.
Yes.
Yes.
So go ahead and share a little bit about your story, and then Ariel's going to talk about UBT, what that is, why it's so important, the Purium Week, and Fast Start.
Yeah, so a lot of you know my story with the debt, but I'll go into that a little bit. When I started in Imperium, it was April 2025, so it's just a little over a year now. And at the time, I had $30,000 in credit card debt with $900 in interest payments a month. So it was this like hole that just kept getting worse and worse. I was paycheck to paycheck, kind of just like not really getting further in debt by the month, and taxes were coming up, so really really stressed. Um, when I got my first Purium check, it was more than I made in a year at other network marketing companies that I had tried before and not had success with. But also it was a huge chunk of, support towards my taxes and my debt. And I was just amazed, even just at that first month payment, what it did for me. And from then I was able to pay off my debt in total within, like 6 months. And now a year from then, I have made over six figures with the business, and I have complete financial freedom, but also time and location independence, which is really important to me because I like to travel a lot. I just got back from like Bali and Costa Rica and Guatemala, and traveling, exploring is really important to me. And I hadn't even been able to go anywhere out of the country for like 3 years, 3 or 4 years, just because of I had that debt, by the way, $30,000 for like 3 years, and it just kept going and going and going. So completely transformed my life in a year, which is just incredible. My first ULT was my mother, and then I think it was my second or my third that was Nicole. So you definitely want to just get started with your warm market, and also you never know like what's going to happen with your customer. It could turn into an amazing business partner, and they can have an amazing transformation. So that's kind of how everything got going with my business too. So I want to talk about the UBT, and this is very important to note because this is how you're going to grow your business fast. You want to hit 3 ULT subscriptions in a week. That's what hitting UBT is. And every first like month ULT, this is important to know as well if you're just getting started, is 250 points. So every first month ULT subscription that you get, that's 250 points. If you get 3 of those, that's 750. And then when you hit UBT, Purium gives you 500 bonus points. So that's 750 plus 500, which is 1250. So for 3 ULTs, you get 1250 points, which already get you to the first Fast Start bonus, which I'm going to talk about. So the Fast Start bonuses are amazing. Imperium pays very generously for people who get going and kind of run with the business. The first one is called the consultant, and that's 1,000 points, which I just explained. If you get 3 in a week, you get 1,250 points. So you're going to be above the consultant rank if you just get 3 ULTs in a Imperium week. Imperium week, by the way, is starting on Saturday and ending on Friday. So that's very important to take note of, because every Saturday your week is starting on Friday night. That's when the week closes, and you want to try to get that UBT in between that time frame. So with the consultant bonus, that's in your first 10 days. So when you sign on, that's day 0. The next day is day 1. And from there, you have 10 days to get 3 ULTs and hit that consultant bonus, which is $100 extra from Imperium on top of commissions. There's also a matching bonus associated with this, as well as many of the other Fast Start bonuses. A matching bonus is your brand partner enroller, the person who brought you on and introduced you to Imperium, actually gets $100 as well, or whatever the matching bonus is, which is really amazing. So that's kind of another incentive for you to find people who want to work with you, because you can make those matching bonuses on top of that. So the second one is director, and this is another one that you can hit in the same month that you sign on. Very easy, because you get 3 in a week, you hit consultant. If you do that one more week in a month, you hit director. So 3 in a week and 3 in a week is enough to get 2,500 points, which is the director bonus, which is $400. So now you've made $500 in just bonuses, and so has the person that enrolled you, which is pretty amazing. The third one that I want to talk about is the executive bonus, which is $500, and you want to get 3 ULTs every week in a month if you want to do it on your own. But the better way to do it, this is 6,000 points total, is to bring on brand partners, because all their points are going to be flowing up to you. So if you bring on 2 brand partners who hit director, plus you get your 3 ULTs in a week, then you hit it too. So bringing on people is going to also help you grow a lot faster, hit those bonuses. You're going to get their matching bonuses. You're also going to get yours. So all 3 of these are very doable within your first month of signing on. You don't have to do it that way, because Imperium does give 2+ months to hit the executive bonus. But I hit it in my first month. Nicole hit it in her first month. Melissa Hennig hit it in her first month. So it's doable for sure. And then that way you're getting the 500 plus the 400 plus the 100 all in bonuses in your first month, which is pretty amazing.
So
And if anyone has any questions on that too, I'd like to take questions. I know it can be a little bit, it can be a lot.
So I also want to say, Ariel, you and I worked closely together right off the bat. We happened at the time to be in the same town, but you don't have to be in the same town as your upline. You can get on Zoom, you can get on phone calls. But Ariel was very, very coachable, because again, she had a strong why. She's like, I'm buried in this debt. I don't know how I'm going to dig out of it. So she had the drive and the grit and the determination to do this. And she loves helping people. She loves health and wellness. She was already in health and wellness. So we would meet up. We would meet up at least once a week. And I would even draw it out for her. Like, okay, here's what you need. And I know at the time it was like, overwhelmed. Like, I don't even know what you were probably thinking, I don't know what Sonia just talked about, but you did it. Like, there was a written thing. I handed it to you. Here's what you need to get to executive. I took a picture of it. I saved it so I could, follow along with her. And she did it. She implemented right away. Ariel got 10 ULT customers in her very first month. And one of them, Nicole, became a brand partner. I think a couple others did too, out of those 10, those first 10. Nicole was extremely coachable. A lot of people come into this and they say, I don't know what any of this stuff means, but they're talking to people. They're like, I'm just going to talk to people. And that's how Nicole was. I'm just talking to people. And we never want to stop anyone from doing that. We will guide you. We are watching the back office. We know where you're at. We know what you need. We will let you know. If you're not a numbers person, or even if Ariel's an extreme numbers person, but at the beginning, it's a lot. It's
I had no idea what was going on in my first month. I was just talking to people and selling the products and listening to Sonia. I had no idea points wise. Like when I looked in the back office, it's a foreign language when you get started, right? I was like, what is all this? Whatever. I'm just gonna focus on doing what she said. This 3 in the week, we're gonna do that. And then the text came and I'm like, wow, okay, this is working. And then I was like, okay, I gotta learn this. So but at the beginning, no, I leaned on Sonia to just kind of focus in on and understand what she was guiding me to do.
And she showed up. She showed up. Like we had conversations multiple times a week. She wasn't ghosting or saying one thing, I want to pay my debt off, and then disappearing and not doing anything. So, she was congruent. Her actions were congruent with what she was saying. So we'll take questions at the end. So if you want to ask Ariel about what she just talked about, we'll take those at the end. Want to bring Dr. Ian Hossein on, another power player here, because him and Nicole are a Crown distributorship, the two of them, and they are amazing both individually and together. Ian is a professor by his profession, professor of biochemical engineering. And Ian, share whatever is on your heart, because you just bring such incredible perspective to this with your background and everything, and you just left that position.
Yeah, and I left it because I was able to see this business as being able to, support me and my family. I also saw it as being scalable. I mean, I worked my butt off as a professor every year, and my raise was always 2.5%. I had unicorn years where I brought in all this money and all this funding. My raise was 2.5%. So there's only so much you can really grow, and we probably know this for any type of profession. When you trade your time for money, there's only so much you're going to get paid. No scalability, and I always knew there was something else that I can do. So as a holistic practitioner, it's kind of the same thing. You trade, you do consultations, you work with clients. It's really good, but you're limited by the number of clients that you take. But with Purium, it's limitless, right? There's thousands of people out there ready and willing to do the ULT. Some people will see it sight unseen. And what I found in social media, sometimes people need that consistent daily showing of the products in order for them to finally be convinced. So it depends. It's always good to have a personal interaction. Getting on the phone and telling people about the products is great. But if you also have a social media following, people want to. I think people need to see something at least 40 times before they even start thinking that it's something for them. So the number one thing that I can say now that's really allowed me to be successful in this business is consistency. Whatever you're doing, you have to be consistent. People keep their stores open even though customers don't go into it. You got to keep your stores open. Business hours are from X to Y, and you have to do that. Okay, people. And I think that's the number one thing. You have to be consistent, right? There will be ups and downs and times when, things happen. But if you're consistently, talking to X amount of people, posting X amount, during the week or during the month, building that list, eventually that consistency will allow the people who are meant to go on ULT and to find your social media or find you for you to be available for them. So big thing is the earning potential. I see it, I appreciate, I realize, and I'm kind of, working on that. But I think the number one thing to really realize the earning potential is the consistency, sticking to a plan every day, every week, every month, on reaching out and sharing these products. And that consistency is what's going to help you reach a lot of people to help them, but in turn to also have that type of stable income as well.
That's one of my favorite words, Ian, consistency. It's so true. Like you are uber consistent with your social media. It's grown like crazy. You're also consistent with this business. Consistency and being persistent, not giving up, having that relentless persistence of doing it. But everything you said is so I didn't even know about that. The 2.5% raise. That's
Yeah, yeah,
um,
but that's just the way it is. I mean, this is the beauty of, this is the challenge of working for somebody else. When you work a job, you're working for somebody else. Your salary is based on an HR committee made a year ago, and you can't really do much about that. And that can be tough when you feel like you have the potential. But when you kind of work for yourself, you set your hours, you set your goals, you can push yourself more. And the beautiful thing about Purium is the more you push yourself, the more you get rewarded. Because in the end of the day, like I say, there are thousands of people out there just ready and willing to try the ULT. They just haven't heard about it yet. And this is your opportunity to reach out to them. There's infinite scale in this business. Reach out to them, see all the people around you get better, and in return you get rewarded with value.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ian.
Welcome.
Okay. I think Nicole is going to
Yeah.
talk about the importance of launch Zooms, the grand opening of your business.
Yes, and that is something, so a lot of my brand partners know, and if we haven't done it, or even, I did a relaunch Zoom, so even if you're not a brand new brand partner, but you've been doing this and you're looking to do this, a lot of times when I get people on, I say, hey, when can we do a launch Zoom? So what is that? That is where I have a picture of you and me, and we're going to talk about the 90-day reset. We don't openly say like, hey, it's Purium, because I actually had somebody the other day find out the name from one of my photos and go buy it on Amazon. And he's like, this does not taste right. And I was like, because I don't know who sold that to you. But you don't want, I don't openly say like, hey, it's Purium. I say nutrition program or nutrition company, 30-year-old nutrition business. But like I have 4 this week, but it's brand new brand partners. They come on, they post it on their social media, they send it to their friends, they have a little network, and they say like, I just joined this 30-year-old nutrition business, and it's a 90-day reset that is run through HSA and FSA. I have a holistic practitioner that's going to be talking about it, but I'm going to talk about why I'm obsessed with it. If you want to come on, here's a Zoom link. And so it's a great way for us as the upline leaders to do the heavy lifting for you. So you can come on, share your transformation, share why you joined the business, and then we talk about the ULT program. And it's so helpful. It's short. It's like 30 minutes. We record it. You have it saved for new people curious about it. But it's a really easy way to get to your warm market and plant seeds, because with seeds things will grow, right? And it's simple, but you don't have to worry about, do you have the verbiage? I got into this, I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I love these products, everything tasted great, I felt great, and I was like, Ariel, tell me what to do, Sonia, tell me what to do, and they helped me. And so you have us, and I think that is the most, probably what makes this business so successful and so easy, is because you don't have to do it alone. I knew nothing about the back office. Ariel was the numbers girl. Thank God for her. Thank God she's on our team. But we have the resources. So if you have not done a launch Zoom, I would encourage you to reach out to your upline, whether it's me or Ariel or Ian. We will do your launch Zoom for you. We'll find a date, we'll get it recorded, and you can invite whoever you want. I post it on my social media too, because sometimes you get people interested and then they go back and buy it from your link, which is great. Happy customers become happy brand partners. That was me. And you got to sift through sand to find gold. So there's gold in all those sand too. So every customer, you might find a crown in there, who knows? But reach out to them, pick up the phone, be like, hey, and this is where I was like, hey, mom, guess what? You're doing this. And I mean, I have to touch back on that. Ariel, her mother is a diamond brand partner. My mom is a diamond brand partner. There is nothing more beautiful than doing this business with your family and friends. Like the Taekwondo moms, we're a team. We set up tables, we do things together. And it's like, we're together 6 days a week anyway. We might as well make money doing it. And it's just, you get to pick who you work with. How incredible is that? My mom lives across the street now. She lived in a different country. So, every week we strategize how we're taking over this business. So you do your launch Zooms, lean on your upline. We do all the talking, so you don't have to. And that's the best part.
Yeah, and make sure you discuss with your upline mentor the inviting and promotion part of the launch Zoom, because you will also want to be considerate of we don't want to waste anybody's time. We don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. So you want to be considerate of that, like strategize with them who you're going to invite, how you're going to invite them. They'll give you the verbiage to invite, because you don't want to set aside this time and then you get on the Zoom and nobody shows up. So you want to make sure you got people there. So they will help you with that, with how to invite as well and how to follow up too. So, okay, let's see. I'm just checking the chat, which last thing in there was what I wrote. All right. Any questions? We can take questions now, unless Ariel or Nicole or Ian, if you wanted to add anything else. Raise your emoji hand or regular hand if you have questions. I know there were a couple in the chat and they were answered. Okay, just want to get back to, you can still raise your hand if you want. I'll just talk in the meantime. Getting back to plugging in. Every Monday night, 8:30 Eastern, there's a business or ULT Zoom. There's one that starts in 8 minutes tonight. You can get on there. Even if you haven't invited anyone, you can get on, because the more you hear it, the more comfortable you'll get with talking about the ULT. You'll hear how it works, how somebody explains it in a short period of time, and you'll hear amazing testimonials. The best way is invite people to it. Invite people to get on there. So you have all these different tools. You have that Monday night call. If you have someone interested and it's, 2 days before Monday or 3 days before Monday or more, get them on a connect call with your upline mentor. Connect calls are super important. That's where you say, hey, listen, you got to meet Ariel. She's amazing. She's my mentor. She knows this inside and out. She's been extremely successful. She's helped other people be successful with this. You're going to love her. She's a sweetheart and she'll be able to answer all your questions because I'm new. But I'm going to introduce you to Ariel. She can answer all the questions with you. Let's set that up. Give them 2 times after you check with her or whoever your mentor is. This time or this time, what works best for you? With the prospect, you want to use the connect call, third-party validation, power of another voice, bringing on the expert because you're new. So definitely take advantage of that. We love it when you book connect calls with us. We love to do them. It shows us you're engaged and you're talking to people. So you got the Monday night Zoom. But like I said, if it's several days before Monday, don't wait till Monday night for them to hear about this. Get them on a connect call. They may want to sign up right away, and then they may come on Monday night and bring some friends with them. And then Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, is Purium Business Training Zoom. Get on these Zooms. I've had people get on these Zooms and say, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed to hear. I had a limiting belief, I had an obstacle, and what that person said, because it's top leaders doing the trainings, what they said was exactly what I needed to hear. I'm all in, I'm going for it. And they got into action. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, 11 Eastern is our team mastermind Zoom. It is amazing. It's everybody's favorite Zoom of the week. It's where we all come together. You get to hear from other people on the team, other leaders, hear what they're doing, what's working, questions, little training in there. So it's very valuable. Every Wednesday night, product education. So Monday night, ULT, Wednesday night product education, you can invite prospects to those. And then when we do our business opportunity Zooms, like once a month, usually we do them, and we've got them recorded. We got a bunch of them in the can. The last one we did was really good. It was, I think, 42 minutes. We tried to keep it a little bit shorter, but it had, I think, 7 testimonials on it, including Melissa Hennig. She shared her story, and she is the winner of the shortest telling her story in 1 minute 45 seconds. We told everybody 2 minutes. She did it in 1 minute 45 seconds, which is amazing. Melissa, I'm totally putting you on the spot. Can you just share a couple words, like what this has done for you so far? Because you're pretty new. You've only been in a few months.
Sure. Do you hear background noise or is it okay?
It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty new at it, but just like everyone's saying, I'm just telling everybody about it because it's just been so awesome for my health and my wealth, and even just, my son, just giving him the drinks, just my whole family. I'm really into keeping everybody as nourished as possible. And this has just done that for us. And then I figure I'm talking about health and nutrition all day for free anyways. I might as well get paid. And this is kind of what that did. I mean, of course, I sell some herb things, but I constantly answer questions for free all day long on my Instagram. And now I have something to offer them. Here, they have migraines or whatever. They ask me these questions. I'm like, I've got this amazing nutritional reset. And now I feel like I can help them, and it's a new business and I get paid for it. So the whole thing is just a win-win.
So Ariel, what was the trajectory for Melissa? Because you're her mentor and she went very fast. Go ahead and share.
In her first month, she, I believe, went to the executive bonus, which is the same as me. And then she got to diamond as well very quickly. So she got the Fast Start Diamond and executive consultant and director. So all of those fast starts she was able to get, which is pretty amazing. And she's also helped a lot of other brand partners do that too. And she's consistently talking to people. I mean, every day she's talking about the business. She is so on it. It's amazing. So she's bringing in, people who are also duplicating as well.
Yes. And she's always picking up the phone. I remember early on, Melissa was like a sponge. Like, what can I watch? What can I watch? Okay, I watched that video. Melissa Hansen said, pick up the phone. I'm picking up the phone. And that's exactly what she did. At the same time, she was learning and doing. She wasn't just learning and not applying it. She was learning and doing. And part of the reason I asked you that, Ariel, is because the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. Pace duplicates. Ariel went Fast Start Executive her first month. Nicole, who came in under Ariel, Fast Start Executive her first month. Melissa came in under Ariel, Fast Start Executive her first month. See a pattern here? It whatever you're doing is what duplicates. I'm not saying 100% of the time, because not everybody will do, even we can do our best effort and they still may not do it. But you have a much better chance if you're going at that pace and leading by example. Whoever comes in under you is going to do, they're going to duplicate that same pace. Dabbling duplicates, going slow duplicates. So, you know, you want to achieve your why. You don't want to dabble. Like I said at the beginning, treat it like a business. It'll pay you like a business. And if you have, let's say you started and then like whatever happened, you got off track, you can always relaunch. You just start over, you relaunch. Even if you're outside of Fast Start, just like Ariel said, you can still make Fast Start matching bonuses. Get some brand partners on, help them get to Fast Start, and you'll make those matching bonuses. So there, you can always relaunch your business. And that's what Nicole was mentioning about relaunch Zooms. So, okay. Thank you everybody for all of this. If you have any questions, get back with your upline mentor. We opened it up for questions before, nobody had any. So just get back with who your upline mentor is. And if you want to jump on that call, it's in the WhatsApp chat, the link to that. So make sure you have that if you want to jump on the call at 8:30 in 2 minutes, the ULT Zoom, and you'll hear the verbiage and get more acclimated to that as well and hear the testimonials. Invite some people. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Dr. Ian, Ariel, Nicole, Melissa, thank you for your sharing and contributions tonight. You guys are amazing. Have a great evening. See you soon.